Hi, my name is Agni, and I'm the Chief Evangelist for ColorTokens. I call myself a rolling stone who's gathered a lot of moss. I have been an auditor, a consultant, and a CISO, and you now know where I come from. I usually talk about breach readiness and cyber defense, which go beyond the investments in cybersecurity. I try and help business and technology leaders find their sweet spot in building these capabilities. In fact, if you want to connect with me, go on LinkedIn and search for Agnidipta ColorTokens and you'll find me somewhere. And today I have with me Guru, who's highly experienced and trusted healthcare leader with expertise in driving growth and innovation throughout his career. And he's consistently delivered value to customers worldwide. But let me not steal his thunder. Guru, why don't you introduce yourself?
Thanks, Agni. Thanks for having me on this program. My name is Guru Gurushankar. I've been in the healthcare sphere for about 30 years, all of it in either in innovation or in driving growth. And that's pretty much what I've done, and done that in both hardware-oriented companies and also in data-oriented companies. All of them blue chips, whether it is AWS, whether it is Johnson & Johnson or GE Healthcare or Cardinal Health, along those lines. So with that's my backdrop, and here at ColorTokens, I lead our healthcare and life sciences vertical, looking to help our customers, our industry verticals customers, reach breach readiness. And this is especially important at this time, given the amount of focus the bad actors are having on the healthcare and life sciences sector. So it's all the more important that we bring good solutions to our customers and help them to get, as to use your words, to get them breach ready and improve their cyber defense posture.
So what's this whole thing about CrowdStrike integration that I'm hearing now? I was talking to Harish the other day, and he laid out some plans for doing a larger EDR integration play and the kind of work that we are doing now. And he gave me some of his feedback. What are you hearing from customers? How's that going?
It's actually fantastic. Let me take a few minutes to explain what we are hearing from the customers, because technology is one thing. The value at the end of the day, it's all about how the customers use it, for which, and how the benefits they derived and how they enhance their posture. So if you take that angle, let me just step back in history a little bit. Historically, microsegmentation as a concept, customers all got it. They all wanted to do it. They all loved it. And if you really look at early stages, where I call phase A, it was all done primarily by hardware. So somebody dropped a firewall, they segmented into n number of sections and had various assets inside it. And they started using the English word segmentation inside that. So that was phase A, dominated by all of the hardware players who are doing that. And you can imagine that as the number of segments gets larger and larger, it becomes more and more difficult to implement some of those things. Implementation became a pain point. It's all about, there are significant implementation issues, significant cost issues, and by the time you go through the trouble of getting everything implemented, by the way, foundationally, it is not a segmentation tool, it's an access control tool. Foundationally, let's start with that. So that's problem number one. Problem number two, by the time you go around implementing it in your entire real estate, you're ready for a hardware refresh. That's problem number two. Problem number three, the capex that's involved with all of these things that's going around. So it gives significant heartburn to not only the CISO, the CIO, equally the CFO. So that's all on that part, phase A of it. Phase B, we went to software-based, and we are in phase C, which was software-based segmentation, still starting to look at applications, primarily applications. Where ColorTokens has innovated and gone forward is in phase C. We are in phase C, which is all around even if you look at it, applications, let's say somebody has 1,000 applications, and by the time they do 20 applications a week, you're looking at significant number of weeks. So we have actually inverted that, and we are saying we have actually had an innovative process by which we go around doing segmentation, where we come to applications last, where we look at all the risky ports and all other things, we take care of it first. We call it progressive segmentation, but I would like to just emphasize that the word progressive is not the same as the English word progressive. Just because you do one app every day and slowly go from 2 apps to 5 apps to 10 apps, you could say that's progressive. That's not what we are saying. We are saying progressive segmentation as in we have changed the ball, we have changed the game, we have turned the game upside down. We cover your risks first, we come to applications last. So before we touch your first application, we have dropped your risk profile by more than we promised.
So you're progressively, so what you're telling me, it's like progressively reducing the breach exposure.
Exactly. We drop it by 50% or above in the first 60 to 90 days. And that is highly innovative, and we are the only ones who offer that. So that's the innovation that we bring to the market. So if you look at this line of innovation as the industry has moved along, the fundamental question that customers always ask is, I know it's good to do, make it simple, make it easy, make it painless for me to do. That's number one. The second thing customers ask is, when I want to do it, give me the results sooner. Don't give me the results after 4 years. When I'm not sure, 4 years is too long. We don't know what's the configuration, who's going to be in the chairs and everything else. I am implementing it. Give me the results.
Guru, the CISO churn is 3 years.
Fair point. That's why I said 4 years. So give it within my period. So it's natural, right? We have a candy, we want to taste it. Would you prefer to have a candy where you can taste the sweet after 4 years? No. I open the wrapper, have a candy, I want to feel the sweet right at this minute. So that's where we are innovating and uniquely positioned in the market and in the industry to bring such things to our customers. In that aspiration, in that goal, while our core product X Shield does the same, there is another flavor that brings instantaneous micro-segmentation to our customers. That in that vector, EDR integrations come in. And the first EDR integration is our CrowdStrike integration. Customers are telling, I already have agents, I already have EDR running. They asked us, is there any way you can just leverage this and give me the same benefits? So I don't have to drop one more agent. I don't have to go through the trouble of getting everybody in my organization aligned, go through the change management process of getting a new agent on board. I have already done that with CrowdStrike agents, a Falcon deployment. Can you leverage this and elevate my security posture was a key question that customers were asking. So if you put your customer hat back on, you say, I have 6 tools running. From this, how can I leverage and get more and more out of it rather than having each tool independently deployed? This also plays into the bigger picture of, this better as a CISO of platformization and that's going on in the industry. It plays into that also. So with all that in mind, I'm coming from that angle with all these reasons is why I'm super excited about our CrowdStrike integration solution.
And then there is this whole factor of connecting, like what CrowdStrike says is we stop breaches. And I think what ColorTokens does is that we stop proliferation of breaches. It's a combined effect of 2 different technologies that bring in a higher level of security for the customer who's using it.
I put it in a very simple way. Stop breaches plus contain breaches is being breach ready.
Brilliant. So who is the ideal customer and in what industry verticals are you seeing this to be more faster adopted than others?
The ideal customer is one who has CrowdStrike and who does not have microsegmentation, but microsegmentation is on their roadmap. And given that they have just gone through the full implementation of CrowdStrike and deployment across all of their say servers and endpoints, X number of assets they have gone through. Now they are waiting for, okay, now that it's all stable, I'm going to start this next journey. That is the ideal customer. And the ideal industry is obviously, you can take the theoretical approach and say everybody should have it, but I would flip it backwards and say the ideal industry verticals are the ones that are prioritized and targeted by the hackers. Unfortunately, today that happens to be the healthcare industry, that happens to be the critical infrastructure industry. And critical infrastructure, whether it be energy or whether it be manufacturing, the critical infrastructure industry and your healthcare and life sciences industry, it's extremely important. And within that vertical, any customer with a CrowdStrike deployment would be the ideal, and no microsegmentation is the ideal customer profile for that could benefit from these solutions that we are bringing to the market. By the way, this is actually a unique solution. This is a very unique solution that we are bringing in that is changing how microsegmentation is brought into customers. So talking to customers and partners alike, the constant reaction, when I talk to multiple customers and partners, when I typically talk about the various things that we do, and towards the end I talk about our integration with other players like CrowdStrike, like other EDR integrations like CrowdStrike, the almost uniform common answer, the common reaction I've gotten is, this is pretty big and this touches a real pain point for us, that Guru, next time you talk, can you actually make sure that this is your topic number one of our conversation? That has been the conversation, that has been the feedback from customers that I've had. So I truly believe in the voice of the customer. As engineers, we can all be delighted with what we build, but when the customers tell you that this is what I love, this is what I want you to bring this to me, then it's something that it's almost imperative upon us to bring it to the customers and bring it to them ASAP and bring it to them with full force. And that's exactly what we are embarking upon.
I think 2 points you made that struck me just now, and I believe they go into what you talked about, my experience as a CISO as well. And the first thing is that the effect of breaches on critical national infrastructure is very, very prominent and high. In fact, as we talk, there is a salt typhoon attack that is still going on in many countries. They are attacking the telecom infrastructure, and they're sitting inside our networks. So what you're saying makes complete sense. And it also reminds me of a recent study that MIT Sloan did, where they interviewed, I think, some 37 or 39 CEOs, and I think 9 of them were actually leading, and these CEOs were of companies who were attacked, and they came up with a statement saying that there has been an unprecedented attack and we had to shut down our enterprise. 9 of these CEOs were on the forefront of the war room, which was handling the attack. And it came out with some very astounding findings. Number one, they always thought that they were ready, but they were not breach ready. And the number two is they were always under the impression that some IT product is going to come in and save the day. And they did not know that they had flat network. They did not know that the attacker could come in and go anywhere. So yeah, I see what you're saying. And I hear, it's very, very great to know that, these are people who could get it done in one day, then that CEO would be the happiest, right? And if you look at the two verticals that you talked about, they are the ones where the effect is felt the most. But let me ask you this. So if a customer does come to us, what should they be expecting from this whole CrowdStrike EDR integration that we are doing?
They should expect a seamless and rapid, almost nearly instantaneous visualization, and a very rapid micro-segmentation deployment after that. What do I mean by that? It sounds like just words. Let me walk through a particular customer who will remain unnamed, but let me walk through one customer experience. We had a customer looking to us, but who did not actually who wanted a network analysis done, not even segmentation at that point. They were considering segmentation down the line, but they wanted to understand how flat was the network, what was their vulnerabilities, etc. Supposed to be we started, let's do it, it's supposed to be a paper exercise. They didn't want new agents installed on their systems. So they said, we don't want new agents. So actually, no, let's do it as a paper exercise. And then we'll consider whether we should do micro-segmentation or not. Then we asked them the question, do you have a EDR running? CrowdStrike was running. And they were okay. They said, okay, let's do this. We gave them a brief of our solution. They went through it. They were happy. They said, let's do it. We had a session start at the top of the hour. Within about 20-25 minutes, we were visualizing all traffic. Within 30 to 40 minutes, all tagging grouping was all done. By the end of the 55th minute, 55, 57, if I can be accurate, if the customer was ready, we could have enforced. So what was a long-drawn paper exercise? What was a long-drawn 9-month project? What was something that is a humongous mountain of resistance or change management to overcome? When the customer saw what was possible in front of their own eyes on their own screens, taking shape in about 50 to 60 minutes of about significant, it's not a small number of real estate, significant number of assets, a significant number of servers. When they saw that, the customer's eyes popped. The customer's first reaction was, this is extremely powerful. I thought this would take me somewhere 6 to 9 months. I thought this would take me 12 months. And you're showing that you're making this much progress in 60 minutes. That, to me, is emblematic of what a customer should expect. Reducing the barrier to the whole implementation, making it simple and easy for the customer to use. And most importantly, deriving value. As I said, you open the candy wrapper, you want to feel the sweetness within 30 seconds, not after 4 years. How do you get the value instantaneously? Those are what the what's the brand promise and what the customers should expect from this integration. And that's exactly, by the way, while I shared the story of one customer, multiple customers, every customer before and after, we have been seeing roughly the same experience. And when you see these things start pooling up into one single experience, you should feel comfortable that, you know what, that's not an aberration, that is the median.
Right. And I think so. If I were to conclude this, what you're telling me is that there is speed, there is ease of adoption, there is the realization that this is going to contribute to building resilience in digital operations, so that they will get the combined power of what you talked about earlier, the EDR and the microsegmentation. And eventually, this is going to make sure that they're going to be able to handle incidents much better and probably go about doing business as usual when the attack could be happening in one of the microsegments that the organization would have. And that would eventually help them comply with regulations in their industry as and when necessary.
Absolutely. All the good things we promise when we deploy and do our microsegmentation, all the good things, it so happens that you have just added a catalyst and you can make it go faster and smoother. So the way I look at it is, remember we started with the equation, prevent breach plus contain breach is breach readiness. While that is a slogan, it's not a slogan that has to wait for years. You can see that come to life in
days.
Hours.
In hours.
And that is the value of this. So that is the value to the customer. And as ColorTokens, remember we started out by saying that we had the phase A of hardware-based segmentation. And by the way, people still call that segmentation. I always ask, are you doing micro-segmentation? Do you do it at the asset level? And then they say, no. So that there is that part, phase A, to where we have come, where it is all around highly innovative segmentation that we are offering, progressive segmentation, where we take care of the risk, 50% of the risk within the first 60 to 90 days. It is yet another step in our effort to make it painless for the customer, make it rapid, and deliver value rapidly. It's all about how do we deliver value rapidly. That's what we have been.
You're going ahead. You're no longer doing microsegmentation alone. You're using that technology to build cyber defense.
Exactly.
Thank you, Guru. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Looking forward to see how this brings value to our customers. Thank you.